SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. With the summer break well and truly behind us, now's the time to take action for a big year ahead. But what does that mean exactly? What should you focus on, and how do you stay on track? Well, renowned entrepreneurial futurist and author Andrew Griffiths offers 7 practical steps you can take to guide your business to new heights in 2024. But first, Chris Ashmore asks Andrew, what does the business landscape look like for this year?
I'm certainly not going to say it's going to be a normal year. We'll just take normal out of the conversation. I think that things will change. There's a bit of uncertainty, of course, around finances. What's going to happen to interest rates? They'll probably come down, but they may go up. We're dealing with this new world of AI. There's political instability. There's some major political instability in reality with what is happening in the Middle East. There's natural disasters, again, that we're coming off the back of. So there is a lot happening. So I think that all ultimately in one shape or another has an impact on business, but it's not always the end of the world impact. There's still people are always going to be buying, people are always going to be looking for services. It comes back to that point that we made earlier, that this constantly adapt and evolve kind of principle is what we need to be adopting in 2024. A year of change, a year of, probably a bit of uncertainty is a word that I would throw in there. And it just means that we've got to be extra proactive in the business space.
Right. Now, I understand you have some ideas you'd like to convey to business owners for the year ahead.
Yeah, and people always come to me saying exactly that. What should we be doing? What do we need to do? As a futurist, you're always trying to provide those solutions as well. I think there's perhaps 3 ways to look at it, 3 ideas and thoughts. No matter how tough times are, there's always opportunity. And I'm sure many of our listeners have heard that, but it's very, very true. It's more a matter of us making sure that we're adapting and evolving to take advantage of those opportunities and staying deeply connected to your customers so you know what changing needs are that you can fill. Number 2, take action. Don't wait and see how the year pans out. Don't wait for things to happen. Take action now. Reinvigorate your business, revitalize your business, invest in your business. Do those things that just really give you a competitive advantage. Learn how to use AI in your business. That's a pretty good thing to be doing at this stage of the game. And number 3, I would say just get that thinking in your head that after every tough time, there is a good time. And we are coming off the back of a very challenging few years, but good times follow tough times. What the smart business does, it gets ready for the good times. And that is all the things that I was saying a minute ago about preparing, about running lean in your business, about, making sure that you're energized, taking care of yourself as a business owner as well. They're the kind of things that I'm suggesting when we're in the year that I think that we have ahead.
It's terrific. Well, in a practical sense then, what can business owners be thinking about or actually doing to get ahead this year?
I've got a few thoughts around that, Chris. I think there's a couple of bits and pieces. There's 7 very short, maybe a few more ideas that I'd have, and I kind of rattle through them a bit. Number 1, just kind of protect your mind a little bit. Are you dealing with fact or are you dealing with fiction? In the world of social media, everything seems to be dramatized. Everything seems to be the end of the world. Everything seems to be over the top. So ask yourself, is this a fact? Is this really happening? Because I think people deal with absolutes and say things like, no one is buying anything or no one is going to do this. I find that the reality is actually very different. So just have a bigger filter on what it is that you're kind of letting come through to you in terms of honesty, and perhaps it's just a hearsay kind of a thing. Be careful where you get your information from. Number 2, hoard cash. Any uncertainty, make sure you've got access to cash. The rules change in tougher years. The banks change the rules, right? But make sure you've got access to cash. Put some money under the bed. Always, if you've got money, put some Bitcoin under the bed. But make sure that you've got access to cash. Number 3, protect your mind. Don't get caught up in negativity. These days, again, there's a bit of the world that we live in where you're either on that side or that side. You're wrong or you're right. My philosophy is to try and be a voice of calm in a sea of crazy. And I'm very, very careful about, again, watching the media, watching the news kind of thing, or getting caught up in arguments about things that don't matter. Protect your mind as a business owner is critical. Surround yourself with positive people that are doing great things, that are being proactive. Okay. Number 4, support others, support your customers, reach out. How can we help you? Support your staff, support your community, do things that are really positive. Number 5, engage your customers. Really talk with your customers. We saw that during COVID, Chris. Those businesses that were really smart, that really deeply engaged their customers and found out what they needed, adapted, supported, etc., actually did pretty well during COVID. And they learnt to support their customers, whether they went from making gin to making hand sanitizer, or from making bread to teaching people how to make bread, that they learnt to adapt in a way that met their needs. Number 6, beware of warning signs. If you've got big customers, or any customers really, that their buying patterns change or their payment patterns change, leap on it quickly so you don't get caught holding a bad debt. Number 7, invest in your business for tomorrow, reinvigorate, rebrand, learn, etc. Number 8, build your community, build your followers, spend time on social media, building and engaging with people. And last one I'm going to say, because I'm trying to squeeze in as many as I can, is embrace new. And there's this great Alvin Toffler quote that I use all the time. I'm sure many people have heard it by now, but it's the illiterate of the 21st century aren't those who can't read or write, but those who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. And what that really means now is we've got to constantly be learning and adapting. And the number one area that we need to be doing that in, of course, is technology, AI in particular. That's a pile for you, Chris. I hope I over-delivered there.
You've done well. Thank you, Andrew. And I suppose to finish up on, you're a big believer in having the right mindset. How does having that right attitude help with running a business?
I think it's so critical. I think it's one of those elements that I might work with someone and I've got to say to them, the reason your business is not working is not your product, it's not your service, it's not your marketing even, it's your mindset. You're setting yourself up for failure already. And it's really hard to have a positive mindset all of the time. And believe me, I don't live in Disneyland. I deal with reality. I'm not, puppies and unicorns. I understand that. But I really work very hard to have a very positive mindset around what I do. And I do that by learning, constantly learning. I spend a lot of time every day just reading, researching things online, making sure that I'm at that cutting edge. About the people that I have in my life, making sure that I'm constantly around positive people that are doing positive things out there. I'm adapting and evolving myself. And I'm asking myself a great question off of a quote that I read. I don't know who the quote is from. This quote is, "The magic we're looking for is hidden in the work we're avoiding." And I think that's a really great quote for mindset, for business success, for pretty much anything we're doing.
That was Andrew Griffiths, entrepreneurial futurist, keynote speaker, and best-selling author. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel.